Hello and welcome to the Mortal Kombat Minute, the podcast where we analyze, criticize, and memorialize the 1995 film Mortal Kombat, one roaring minute at a time. I'm Phil Casper from philcasper.net.
I'm Spanish from GameFixShow.com.
And we are on minute number 30.
Wow, we are 30 minutes in? 30 minutes?
0. Finally, the half-hour mark.
It's gone so quickly. No, it really hasn't for us, but it's okay. For you, maybe. For listeners, maybe.
For those that binge listen, yeah. Thank you so much. This minute starts with Shang Tsung walking up a stone walkway through a garden, and it ends with showing a stone wall with a four-armed shadowy figure roaring or growling, whatever you want to describe.
Who could that be? A quick recap. Obviously, we had Shang Tsung walking away in that garden. The last thing, of course, and before that, we saw a three-fingered hand of whatever looking on to the heroes. But we got to catch up with the heroes a little bit, and they are following Shang Tsung through this garden.
Right, and I mentioned that I had some notes on this garden a little bit.
Yeah. I want to hear what is it?
Yeah. So, I don't have notes about the garden itself. Like, there's nothing trivial. Sorry, I didn't mean to tease it that bad. although there are a couple of things about like some of the statues that I noticed.
Okay.
For one thing, as the scene progresses, this is one kind of long shot that we're going in here because the shot starts low and then it starts raising up, so we get a better view of the garden.
It's definitely on a boom. That's for sure.
For sure. And on the left side, we have this helmeted warrior statue that has a mace. They're actually holding a morning star, I believe. Which is that ball with spikes on the end of it.
Yep.
on a stick. And of course behind that there's like a pool of water in the garden. The two statues that are on each side of the walkway that Shang Tsung walks between with the braziers, I guess what is the torches. They sort of looked a little familiar to me at first in the sense of like something that we see at a very much later minute in Outworld, but I'm jumping a little bit too far ahead. But actually on closer inspection, they look like they're some sort of like maybe mummified robed monks potentially, because if you look, they have like a sash or something on their right sides, right side going down to their left, draping down to their left of the mid. And as the shot progresses, that you see this kind of horned statue lining on the far right of the shot. And I don't know if you noticed it, Spanish, but if you looked at his feet, did you notice his feet?
I sure did. The only thing I could come up with this sculpture is that he is a Centaurian. And what other character in the Mortal Kombat series is a Centaurian but Mutaro? Who appears in Mortal Kombat 3, and I could pinpoint that being Motaro because not only does he have legs of a horse, but he also has horns, and he has a spear, which was Motaro's weapon of choice.
Wait, so are you thinking this is actually a statue of Motaro?
That's what I'm going with.
Okay. See, I'm thinking that it's just a statue of another Centaurian warrior.
Okay, it could be. It could be
because like as we're progressing through the shot, we get like a better top-down angle of the statue. And I know with Montaro, he has kind of like a lizard-like long tail that comes out, and with this warrior here, it's just more of a horse. It has like a horse tail. It's very much shorter. I don't know. I think it's shorter, but but I do have a couple of like little notes about the Centaurian warriors.
Please.
So the Centaurians were they served the Emperor in Outworld as one of his extermination squads, and they proclaimed themselves as the greatest species of Outworld.
How about that?
And they're at odds with another species, but we'll get into that a little bit later. And this this warrior specifically, I think he's holding more of a halberd instead of a spear, because I think it's like a combination of an axe. Like you can see the axe blade at the very tip of the spear, I believe.
I'm looking at it now. I guess I'll give that to you.
I think it's technically a halberd, but anyway,
Gotcha.
we're splitting hairs here.
Yeah, I think so.
But anyway, as Shang Tsung is walking down this this walkway, he's not even entirely out of the shot. First, he goes down into, like, he starts descending down into a stairwell, a path, and he reaches the end of that path and then starts heading out to the left. But before he even gets out of the shot, we also see Sonya Blade come up from the bottom of the shot in hot pursuit. Like, she actually wasn't too far behind Shang Tsung and was actually gaining on it.
Yes. Well, and then she kind of comes to a weird stop. Like she's looking around, or she hears other footsteps, and it just so happens to be Liu Kang and Johnny Cage behind her, following, of course.
Yep.
And of course she turns around and like the solo warrior that she is, she says, "How many times do I have to tell you I don't need your help? I can take care of myself." And of course, Cage, being the gentleman, I say that with a question mark, it says, "Can't help it. It's a guy thing."
And during this, there was like a little extra line in the book that I kind of liked, because Sonya calls him on it, because like that, that's a very, I don't know. I don't know whether he, like, Johnny meant for it to be sexist or whatever. It seemed like it was.
Yeah.
just gonna throw it out there.
Sure.
Sonya says in the book, "Letting the little head think for the big one, eh?"
Yeah, it probably didn't fit the rating, if you will,
right? Yeah,
of the movie,
for sure. There was another thing that I wanted to note, though, was that in this garden scene, they weren't supposed to talk in an earlier version of the script. It was actually Sonya talking with Shang Tsung during an earlier version of the script, and not talking with our other fighters that we have here.
Gotcha.
But
okay,
that's another difference that I wanted to point out. But as Sonya's talking to, or Johnny's talking to Sonya, Liu Kang starts to peel away and go after, or go into the direction of where Shang Tsung went.
Right. And then, of course, as he's doing that, Sonya just says, "Hey, where are you going?" And then he said, "Of course, I'm following him."
And she's like, "No, I work alone." And then Liu immediately responds, "No, Shang Tsung is mine." And yeah, I'm like, they're fighting over him. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, she just wants to talk to him. Liu Kang wants to kill him, so
yeah,
he can't really talk if he's dead.
That's true. Well, and then of course, Sonya then says, "I work alone." Like, she kind of doubles down on it, of course.
Yep. And then we immediately go into another shot of kind of this cavern, in a way, that, like, this big, huge cave. It's a side shot, and our heroes start to come into the shot with Johnny Cage holding a torch, and Johnny's trying to speak some reason, I guess.
I think you missed a line.
Did I?
Yeah. So when Sonya says, "I work alone," Liu Kang then says, with kind of an abrupt, kind of like authoritative line, he says, "No, Shang Tsung is mine."
Oh yeah, no, yeah. I mean, I thought I mentioned that earlier, but yeah, no. like, why are they fighting over Shang Tsung? I don't get it. Yeah,
well, no. Well, we all know why Liu Kang is. I think we're pretty clear on that. And then Sonya's only after it because he knows where Kano is, and that's her only mission. So.
Like, she's definitely dedicated on her mission. But yeah, so now we're back now we're in the cavern, and Johnny Cage is trying to, like, talk some sense into people. He's like, "Look, why don't we just forget about Shang Tsung?" Mm-hmm. And Sonya is saying, "What do you mean forget about him? Did you see what happened back there? I want to get to the bottom of this." So Sonya, always being like the detective, I guess, like,
she is
caught on the mission there. It's like I guess she wants to get to the bottom of, like, what Sub-Zero is exactly, I guess.
Yeah, what just happened to that guy? Just got killed. Like, why can he throw an ice ball, like what's going on? And of course, Johnny Cage, being the caring mind that he is, he says, "Are you out of your mind?"
Now, I want to like focus a little bit on this side shot that we have here as they're walking across the bridge, because this reminds me quite a bit of a fighting stage in the Mortal Kombat games
called the bridge.
There you go. Actually, well, it's either the bridge or I think it's sometimes referred to as the pit as well.
The pit, yeah. But I think it only became the pit after, I think, the third one, I want to say.
Okay.
But it was the bridge first, yeah.
Okay. And what reminded me of it actually was during the side shot, you see other bridges in the background. And you see torches in the middle of the bridges, which in Mortal Kombat 2 on this version of the stage, if you're fighting on the stage, if you look in the background, you see another bridge with two other fighters on it, one of which is on fire, which is, if I remember, that's Cinder, I think, or it was canonically known as Cinder. But that just seeing those that torch on a bridge in the background reminded me of, there's that flaming fighter in the background that's just standing there waiting to fight.
That's fair. Yeah. Well, you know what? I'll give you that. It is called the pit. It is referred to as the bridge, but the actual stage is called the pit. So yeah, I stand correct. That's my bad.
Oh, no worries. But okay. So when Johnny asks Sonya, are you out of your mind? Then we get like this top down shot that like starts to quickly zoom out. We get some bats and stuff flying by. And we see all these other bridges, this network of bridges, which just reminds me of like how cool would it be to have like multiple fights happening on these bridges all at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of reminded me of like a Harry Potter.
Yeah, it actually does.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, me too. Yeah. And I see like, like, I don't know how deep this cavern goes. I'm looking at the picture now. You see like just this, it's a twisting network of bridges. You see all these different torches. Like somebody has to light those, right?
Yeah.
Or keep them lit, like tend to them. And there are some, like, it looks like I assume it's the bottom of the cavern, like that goes all the way down to the bottom. So there's a pathway down there as well too. One would think.
One thing I wanted to add, real quick, you mentioned that the fire guy in the background that kind of reminded you of the stage, like fighting in the back.
Right.
The guy that's not on fire is actually goes by the name Hornbuckle.
Yep.
And
Hornbuckle.
And the guy that's on fire, actually, fans were known because they didn't really know who it was, but they called him Torch at one point. But later it was revealed that his name was Blaze.
Blaze. Okay, I was like, oh wait, Cinder is another fighter from another fighting game that shall not be named.
Yeah, you're right. Now that I know that game too, but okay, we'll leave that out.
We'll leave that out. Sorry,
I
played a lot of that game too growing up.
That's okay. Yeah, no, that's fine. It's funny that you thought that because it's very close to that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Both flaming characters, but totally similar in that sense.
But
yeah, so when we see this drop down shot for a couple of seconds, then we move to this shot of just a stone wall with some sort of shadowy figure on it and some growling, it looks like, and slowly you start to count, with this figure, not one, not two, not three, but 4 arms on this guy, this thing, and this big growl, this roar that's happening as he's walking off to the side.
Who could that be?
We're just gonna, we don't know now. We're not gonna find out because that's the end of the scene. That's the end of the minute.
Oh man, you just grabbed the carpet right from underneath my feet. That's okay though.
It's called a tease, Spanish.
Yeah, I know. I'm just messing with you. Well, that's all really I have for this minute. There was actually one. Can I tell you one thing that I did look and I ended up it didn't come out to fruition that I thought it could have been.
Okay.
There's the one sculpture of the guy with the he looks like an executioner. At least that's what I got out of it. He has like the axe behind his head. helmet. He's like right on the front left of the scene there. I was like, man, where have I seen that before? And there's an actual executioner statue in the Addams Family movie in their graveyard that I totally thought could have been the same, but it's not. So if anyone was wondering that, it was a dead end. And I was like, man, because I was like, oh man, if I would have pulled that out, that would have been sweet. But nope, I was wrong. So it could take you inside a little bit.
Well, I guess one final piece of like not necessarily trivia, but differences between the different adaptations of the movie. So I mentioned earlier that in an earlier version of the script during that garden scene, it's supposed to be Sonya talking with Shang Tsung. In the novel, it's actually Shang Tsung talking with Raiden.
Okay.
And in both of those adaptations, like the earlier script and the novelization, Scorpion and Sub-Zero are guarding Shang Tsung, acting like an escort of sorts. But that's kind of the final thing that I have about this minute.
Yep, I'm good there.
All right. Well, thanks so much for being with us for 30 minutes and like you're invested this much. Let's just continue the rest of the way together.
Oh, we got 71 more. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Let's do this.
There we go. Yeah. We're in it for the long haul, and we're so thankful that you're here with us. But once again, thanks so much for listening. I'm Phil.
I'm Spanish.
And we'll see you next time on the Mortal Kombat Minute. Yeah.